Thank you, Douglas, fellow Toastmasters and very welcome guests. Tonight's speech on body language. I'm going to be focusing on why non-verbal communication is so important. And as Douglas said, I'm going to keep my eye contact with you all, which is a bit more simple since I'm looking at one webcam. I'll also be covering a couple of sources where I particularly learned a lot about body language and a few tips at the end on how you can use body language consciously to appear more confident, but not only that, feel good within yourself. So there's numerous studies out there that demonstrate different statistics on body language. But around 60 to 65% of communication is down to our non-verbal cues, not what we're actually saying or how we sound. 20 to 25% is our vocal projection, how loud we're speaking, our pitch. So you could be speaking really loud like this, or you could be speaking lower like this, which is always good to mix it up to keep the audience's attention, but that's not what we're focusing on tonight. And then the final part is about 5 to 10% is the actual words you say. So what you're actually saying is seen as the smallest part of communication, but obviously don't go around calling people names. That's not key to do that. But it just means looking at your body language is very, very important. Now, the first source I wanted to reference is a book called What Everybody is Saying. It's by an ex-FBI agent called Joe Navarro. It's a really, really good book. And he talks about his experience with criminals and interviewing people in the station for various activities and actually looking at their body language from what they were saying and being able to detect whether they were lying or not. Now, one of the things he points out is we can't control a lot of what we're doing. So I could be doing things that I have no conscious control over. And that's because the limbic part of the brain, the survival part of the brain, is sending signals to our nervous system to start doing movements. And it's really trying, and sometimes it's just trying to keep us safe. Now there's 3 types of reactions. There's fight, when you're ready to stand your ground. There's flight, when you're ready to run away. And there's actually a third type, freeze, when you just want to hide away from something. And examples he gives was a criminal would be in the police station. And if he was talking to the criminal and their eyes were darting all over the room like this, and they were saying something, then that could be seen as a signal that they had this flight response and they were a bit nervous or a bit edgy about what they're saying, so they could pick up things like that. The second source I wanted to reference is one of my favourite books of all time, which quite a lot of people haven't heard of, but it's called Higher Status by a guy called Jason Capital. Now, Jason Capital is a hero of mine. Some people don't like him, but I think he's awesome. He's a millionaire in America, but he's mastered many different traits by the amount of effort he puts into things. And he really went through life getting better jobs and really progressing in his life and started to realise that by working on his voice, working on his body language, that had a massive, massive impact in his life. And through the book, he goes through information on what unconsciously sometimes we do to attract each other, even if we don't mean to. So, for example, he uses, you might see someone in the street and instantly judge them as, oh, they don't look particularly friendly. And that sounds horrible, but our brain does that to keep us safe, naturally. So it's okay that sometimes we might think a bad thought about someone, but obviously when you're saying it out loud to them, that's a different matter. But he goes into how you can change your body language, your voice, and many things like that in order to appear more confident, but also get more opportunities in life, like get better in job interviews, get more attraction from that romantic partner you want, or perhaps just appear better on stage in general, day-to-day things. And then he points out different areas of body language throughout the book. I won't go into his other areas. So he goes on about having an open body language. And what he means by that is when we spread ourselves out, we're comfortable, we feel relaxed, then that shows that we're comfortable within ourselves. There's another part, which is the high status walk. When you're walking upright and comfortable, that shows a lot of confidence and calmness about us. Eye contact, as I'm trying to do with the camera, that is essential in order to show confidence. When our eyes are moving all over the place, now there's different conditions, obviously. Some people have certain conditions where it's really difficult to actually keep the eye contact. But if you're able to keep eye contact as much as possible, that shows you've got confidence and you're not trying to come up with that flight response. So there's some exercises he gives in the book, and I'll come on to that in a minute. The other one is the, where was I going with this? Oh, the power pose, that was it. So the other response is the power pose. Studies have shown, and there's a TED talk by a psychologist called Amy Cuddy, and if you stand like Wonder Woman for 2 minutes, it's shown from studies that actually this produces an increase in testosterone, but also decreases our cortisol, a stress hormone in the body. So actually changing our physiology can change how we feel about ourselves. Now, Jason's book is all about changing your state, your confidence, how you feel about yourself through your body language, through your physiology. My own personal opinion, I think it's a combination of mindset and the body language. So, just a few tips to end with from those that I picked up. Eye contact, just practice when you can, in the street or in the shop. Obviously, you've got your mask on probably. Keeping eye contact with people. Just every day, do 3 people. Try and keep eye contact in the mirror. Walking upright, whether you're walking to the gym, whether you're walking to the shops, whether you're going for a nice walk. For 5 to 10 minutes, just walk upright, walk relaxed. And then the final one is, as I was suggesting, the power pose. That can change your feelings, and I always do it in the morning because it gives me that boost and feeling good. And then the final one, smiling. Smiling produces good chemicals in the body as well. It can produce endorphins like exercise and feel good chemicals in the body, just by adding that smile if you're on a down day. So, fellow Toastmasters and very welcome guests, this is my speech on body language. Thank you.